my primary objective is to become the best version of myself and be different from majority of people. Alright, my bad for, of course, wearing my school gear. I'm coming back from my peasant school. I'm not going to say that word specifically because they've constantly, countless of times, stood me down just off speaking freely outside of school. I posted an Instagram story. I made a petition to ban Pride Week. A friendly, civilized petition, as you can call it, right? But I didn't break the NZ law in any way, shape, or form, right? Freedom of speech, freedom of expression. However, they decided to use that against me, and bang, stood me down. Bang, parents are coming after me. Bang, I'm cornered. I'm trying to portray high-valued morals and values and ideologies. I'm anti-progressive ideologies, of course. And the Matrix likes to just corner you in a box and keep you stuck in a constant cycle and keep you from breaking free and exposing the truth. If you obtain influence, you're a threat to the Matrix. I know for a fact that is the case. There's plenty of self-evidence within the Andrew Tate case, within the Trump case, within Charlie Kirk as well. They start attracting mass audiences and it gets to a point where they're able to control a certain demographic. And when they have that power to control a demographic of people or speak directly towards your mass audience, and if you have control, right, of the narrative, right, if you're able to push your narrative to a large amount of people, then you're a threat to the Matrix. And the Matrix will get one of their agents after you. Alright, well, let's get to the real point, right? The real point I'm making this video is to really document my mindset, mentality, my knowledge. And the knowledge and wisdom I have and I've obtained. Of course, no one's watching me at the moment. No one knows me at the moment. But 4 years from now, I know for a fact I'll be a global sensation. Everyone will know me. So I'm going to give you wisdom. Let's look at the media. The media is the most powerful tool. It's the most powerful form of power that opens the key to influence and being able to control masses of audiences, demographics of people, etc., right? The elites use the media to subconsciously control your mind into believing and to subconsciously normalize these characteristics and behaviors onto society. They're trying to normalize low-valued, degenerate, feministic, demasculated narratives. That's their primary objective, and we saw this during the COVID lockdown. The question I'm currently still asking is, who are the elites behind the media portraying and pushing these type of narratives and ideologies? Well, some people say it's a certain ethnicity, which I'm not going to say right now. I don't think that's the case. They wouldn't make it that obvious. I'm not anti-Semitic in any way, shape, or form, right? I'm not going to blame it on like one single ethnicity. It's definitely a whole coalition of people. They kept trying to push this woke, BLM, degeneracy, LGBT, whatever, bull narrative within the COVID-19 days. You know, lockdown days was crazy because the majority of people were online. At that point of time, kids shows were LGBTQ plus friendly. The Netflix series were LGBTQ plus friendly. Everything was pushing this progressive, degenerate ideologies. The media is the Matrix. And people behind the media that's controlling these narratives and trying to normalize it onto society are the people who we don't know. They're behind the scenes. So let's take it to our next point, right? So we now know the media is the Matrix. The media is trying to portray low-value narratives and control your mind. By what I mean control your mind is influence. Okay, let's talk about the modern music industry. The music industry is the most low-value industry in the world. And I'll never ever listen to music again. And if I was to listen to music, it would be old, classic music. Or funk, right? The modern music industry is corrupted and constantly trying to poison your mind and subconsciously feminize you and demasculate you with their music. It's just constant estrogen music artists try to do. However, the music that's being portrayed towards women is terrible. Like constantly trying to sexualize themselves, desensitize themselves to their bodies, and really, you know, it's just unmodest and low valued and just disgusting and slutty. What they're pushing to women is basically modern feminism. But what they're pushing to guys is constant estrogen being pumped throughout these music. I hate Drake, I hate every rapper, right? The rap industry is disgustingly bad. And I highly despise the rap industry because what they do is they constantly try to portray uncivilized narratives onto, let's say, the black community. They push gun violence, they push gang violence, they push low-value characteristics, degeneracy, clubbing, partying, alcohol, etc. And of course, right, the elites behind the rap industry are pushing them, right? I'm highly against the black community in general, indulging low-value characteristics, behaviors, which I'm highly against and despise. Cooked. The movie industry now. Let's talk about like the movie industry as a whole. I believe every single movie is currently just trying to push modern feminism. The majority of these movies are predominantly pushing modern feminism, women's superiority over males. That's their primary objective. Their primary objective is to weaken and soften males. The movie industry is a lot of degeneracy, partying, women sexualizing themselves for attention and validation of men, etc. Drama, bunch of bull, bunch of nothing. That's, corrupted and bad. Pushing these type of ideologies towards the younger generation is not going to lead to a great outcome or a positive outcome on society as a whole. I'm highly against the movie industry. I hate the flipping music industry. I hate all of it. It's all part of the Matrix. The Matrix is trying to corrupt your mind. Now, actually, there is something I can do about that, and I'll tell you. This brings me to my next point, right? My primary objective right now, become highly influential, become highly financially successful. I'll tell you why. The three criteria to success, and from my end, right, from my point of view, is 1, influential status, being well known, having purpose, being able to dignify your name and solidify your name in the books. 2, financial success, being able to save yourself from hard times and hardships. You need financial capital. You need some sort of capital to protect yourself from the Matrix. Right? If you do become influentially successful, you must become financially successful. Because if you're not financially successful, you will not be able to fight the lawsuits that's going to be constantly falsely alleged towards you. You're going to be constantly antagonized with fake lawsuits to publicly damage your reputation. Now, next point. Physical success. Becoming physically successful. Unfortunately for me, I'm not physically successful at this stage, right? I'm not physically fit, right? My primary objective when it comes to the gym is to cut weight, cut body fat percentage, and build muscle on top. I consider myself overweight, if not, worse. The reason why physical success is key for me, right? I want to become a football pro, right? And majority of people believe I'm not going to become a football pro and it's not going to happen, but I believe it's going to happen, right? There's a quote that Ronaldo specifically said, if you believe, you can achieve. I believe I'm going to become pro whether I like it or not. So I'm going to do what I'm going to constantly train, constantly go out to Ellisville Park, constantly go out and train, go to the football pitch and train to become the best football player in the world and solidify my flipping name. It opens you up to an audience. You have some word in a sense, right? If I do become a pro footballer, right, I'll be well known at that point. That will give me some sort of leverage and influence. I'm going to rebel against the progressive ideologies that's being portrayed. The only way for me to rebel against this is by obtaining mass influence and taking over the media through its algorithm. The AI algorithms, specifically, the AI algorithms are controlling the narrative, controlling everyone's perspective in life. Yeah, it's dangerous. The AI algorithms are highly powerful. They're highly powerful. They can definitely choose the narrative based on what their leads give them, right?